Let's play with hype-worthy cream foundations. We have different price points. We have under $12, around $30, and then luxury pricing, which is around $70. We're gonna compare them all one-to-one and see how they compare. Are they similar? Are they different? Which one applies better? And which one wears better the entire day? Today we have Milani versus Giorgio Armani.
Milani and Armani.
There you go. $10.99 versus $68. We're gonna go from drugstore to super luxury high-end. Let's start with the Armani. Like I said, this is $68 and this is their Power Fabric Compact Cream Foundation Balm. So this right here, they're saying it's a super long-lasting foundation that's on the go in a compact form. It's supposed to offer a waterproof with a matte powder finish. We're gonna open it up and it basically says you would gently pick up the foundation with the applicator and you swipe across desired areas to spread the product, but then you gently dab to blend it out. So let's just go on this. We're gonna dab it, or not dab it, we're gonna swipe it onto the sponge or the applicator. I'm gonna start in the center and basically move it around and then dab. Whoa, okay. So it's definitely like a balm to a powder finish, which is so intriguing. I feel like a little goes a long way because it is so pigmented. And I'm gonna try to move it as much as I can to this side, and you can see the foundation right there. That was actually really easy. It does have a scent, but it's very minimal. It kind of smells like their Power Fabric foundation, but it's not as intense. I'm just gonna go back in, pick up a little bit more, and then dab over certain areas where I want extra coverage. Let's do like a little bit right here. Let's go on the forehead, and then just gently dab into my skin. And I will say it's a matte finish, but it's a really soft matte. It's not looking really flat and one-dimensional. Like you can still see a little bit of a natural finish underneath. Will this be good for people with super dry skin? That's the question. I'm gonna have these dry spots right here on my face. It's so far doing good. It's not exaggerating those dry spots and it's not attaching to them, but will it look really bad and separate like really fast? I actually really like how that looks. Like it looks like my skin, but very even toned. And the forehead looks good, it doesn't look super dry. Let's move on to the Milani, and it also comes with the applicator. This right here is called Conceal Plus Perfect Smooth Finish Cream to Powder Foundation. $10.99, a full coverage with a soft matte finish. So again, it's buildable with a soft matte finish. So that's really nice. And it says camera ready finish, whatever that means. So hopefully no flashback. So also use either their applicator, a beauty blender, or a foundation brush. And then it says, begin by rubbing the tool of choice in a circular motion to soften the surface of the foundation. Pick it up and apply. You just get a nice white little sponge. Let's go for it. This definitely looks a lot more balmy than the Armani. All right, let's take the sponge. Let's actually work it in, like they said. Oh, this one seems a little thicker. We'll do the same thing, start from the center. Ooh, this one's a lot lighter. What shade is this? 200. I might need to actually go for the 205. I'm just gonna take this one right here. It's a little better, but still. Whoa, that looks bad. What is happening? It's just dry right here. It doesn't even look dry, but this is like bringing everything out. I feel like I have to redo my moisturizer for this. All right, so you guys can see that close-up of my face. It's kind of dry, not dry. It's really dry right here, but for some reason on the Milani side, it's really pulling dry and it looks scaly, versus on this side, there is, you can see a little bit of dryness, but it's not exaggerating it even more. So I'm going to re-prep this side right here. I'm just going to re-exfoliate. I'm just gonna use my Ren, the Ready Steady Glow. It's Daily AHA Tonic, which helps exfoliate some of the dead skin. So I'm just going to re-exfoliate using a cotton pad. Let's do it. I am re-moisturized. Hopefully this is better. Okay, that looks a little bit better. I think because the color is a little off, it's like showing every imperfection on my skin. This one is not blending as well as the Armani. Like you can see I'm kind of having a hard time with it, versus the Armani kind of just blended itself in a way. I'm just picking up a little bit more and I'm just dabbing it in places where I want that coverage. Yeah, it's going on a lot more smooth now that I re-exfoliated my skin. Yeah, that looks so much better. I would say this one's definitely a lot more balmy, and then it has more of that powder finish. It's definitely more tacky. The Armani, as soon as you put it onto your skin, it kind of has that powder feel and texture, and you can't feel it on your face whatsoever, versus the Milani, it has more of that balmy texture, and you can still feel it on your skin. Like it has that tackiness. You can hear it too. It's a little more sticky and tacky. I feel like the coverage, Armani is taking the coverage so far. Like I'm applying way more product with the Milani to get the same coverage as the Armani, but I used less product with Armani than I am with Milani. Kind of want to do my bronzer first. I'm going to use the Icon London, their sheer bronzer in Golden Hour. I think it's having a hard time blending with the Armani. I think because of the powder finish. With the Milani, since it's a little more tacky, it's very easy and very soft. Concealer, I'm gonna take my Rare Beauty and Lancome. For blush, we're gonna take Morphe, their Wonder Tint Cheek and Lip Mousse in Wish. I'm gonna take Milani powder bronzer in their Silky Matte formula in Sun Kiss number 2. And just give a little bit more of a warmth to my skin. Okay, this is what we look like with both sides done using the same products besides the foundation. This side still looks a lot more powdery, and all the products that I applied, they look like I used powder products, like the concealer, somehow weirdly, the blush, even the contour. The only powder product I used was this one right here by Milani, the bronzer. On this side, everything looks a little more natural. It looks more creamy, and I think because of that texture, it still has that tacky feel, versus this side, it has that powder feel, like a velvety, soft feel on my skin. This looks a little more flawless. It looks a little more airbrushed, definitely more of a matte finish, versus this side, it's a little more of a natural finish. It's a little more sheer in coverage. Very fascinating. I don't know which side I like better because they're both so different. This is gonna be a fun test to do. I'll see you in a little bit for the first update. Doing the first update, and I wanna say I'm feeling a little dry on the Armani side versus Milani because I re-prepped the skin. It's looking and feeling better. Overall, everything still looks really good. I feel like both sides now have kind of set even more. So thinking ahead, really moisturize a lot. Last and final update. How are we looking? I think we look pretty good. I look like I'm very shiny. I do have a light right in front of me, so that's why I look really bright right here in the center of my face. But yeah, definitely looking a little extra shiny. I even feel a little extra shiny, but I'm also looking and feeling extra dry. This right here is where I'm feeling and looking extra dry. Right here, around the mouth and around the nose. The forehead, it doesn't feel dry, it just feels extra oily. But like my cheeks, they're feeling dry, they're looking dry. And like every texture, every line, every pore is exaggerated. I honestly think the Milani side looks better just because from the beginning, it had a little bit more of like a natural finish, just because the skincare was a little bit more fresh, and I re-exfoliated my skin. So I think it definitely looks better. But looking around my nose on both sides, the pores are really enlarged and extra exaggerated. On both sides, I have dryness right here, dry spots. and they're really dry, but the Armani side is definitely looking a lot more dry. I will say the cheeks, I think they look better on the Armani side. They still look really airbrushed. They look a lot more soft and more diffused versus this side, it looks a little more patchy and a little more sheer where I applied it. So I will say that both wore similarly enough, even though they had slightly different finishes, but that's just the way I prepared my skin or prepped my skin. But it was really interesting to see how both wore with similar characteristics. Like both are medium to full coverage, both were a cream to powder foundation, both were supposed to have a soft matte finish. So it's really intriguing to see how differently they applied, how differently they wore, but also the similarities in between the two. So I'm really surprised that I enjoyed both, but I enjoyed the Milani more throughout the day. I like the application of the Armani, but the Milani wore better throughout the day. So that's really intriguing. I'll see you guys tomorrow with the other cream foundations, and we'll see how those compare one-to-one. Today, let's test out the MAC Studio Fix, their cream to powder foundation. This right here retails for $36. It's supposed to have a natural matte finish. It's supposed to be a medium buildable coverage that is super lightweight, 12-hour wear time, sweat and humidity resistant, crease resistant, non-cakey, and it's supposed to have a medium plus long-term moisturization. All that sounds phenomenal. And we're gonna compare it alongside with the Derma Blend. This is their Cover Cream. This retails for $39. A little more expensive. It's supposed to have a super full coverage. It's one of their highest coverage foundations that they sell. It's supposed to be very flawless on the skin. 16 hours of wear, but it only does that if you set it with their Derma Blend powder. That's the one problem here. You need to have an extra product to extend the wear time of this product right here. What should we start with first? Let's go with MAC. Let's do that. So how they recommend to apply it on their website, it literally just says, apply with a sponge or brush, blending and building to desired coverage level. Alrighty, let's take their sponge, because that's what we've been doing. I'm gonna do the same thing, kind of rub it into the sponge, and we're gonna do the right side. It's very thick. I'm just gonna put in areas and then just tap the product in. It's a little patchy, but I feel like this, it kind of has a consistency of Milani. It's a little thicker. It definitely has that like balmy, creamy texture. It doesn't become a powder right away like the Armani did. It's not blending as easy as the Armani, but it's definitely blending easier than Milani, because I feel like Milani was a lot more sheer, and it was a lot more patchy. Like this one, I feel like I'm getting a solid medium coverage. I'm actually pretty happy with how well that applied. Like honestly, really, really happy. I think the only thing I will complain about these types of compacts and products are these little sponges. They're not the most comfortable to use, and plus they look so dirty and gross. It's really pretty. It's actually a really pretty finish. So Derma Blend, you have 3 steps. The first step, and they actually have a video there as well. The first step is to apply. So you take your Derma Blend, your fingers, and you basically rub it in a circular motion. It's also it's very thick, very balmy, and then basically put it in the back of your hand to warm it up even more. And then you take your fingers and apply that product in areas where you want that coverage. That color actually looks pretty good. It looks a little bit lighter than this one. And then just keep applying it, warming it up. I mean, this product is definitely thicker. And then step 2 is blending this product into your skin. You know what? I have one of these right here, a clean one. I'm just gonna take and pick up some of this product. Okay. I feel like it's blending in okay. I feel like I have to tap way, like a lot harder on my face to really blend this product in, because it is such a stiff formula. And I can see why they say you really have to warm this product up, like on your fingers and the back of your hand with the warmth of basically your body temperature, because otherwise you're gonna be really rubbing your face. This one's definitely a lot more sheer, which I was expecting this one to be a lot more full coverage versus this one. Wow. So let's take a little bit more. We'll go over some areas right here. Just get a little bit more coverage. We were talking about the convenience of these products. The one thing that makes these products attractive over a liquid foundation is just the compact form and how it already has a mirror installed. It has a little sponge or applicator or a brush, and therefore you can literally sit in your car without any extra mirrors in front of you and literally just use this, or even go into a bathroom stall if, you know, somebody is using like one of those, like the family restrooms, I think they're called, and just, you know, fix your makeup there throughout the day. But with this product, you can't really do that. It's very messy. There's no mirror involved to get your fingers all dirty. And it's it's kind of uneven on my cheek. Okay, so the step 3 for Dermablend is to apply setting powder and leave on for 2 minutes, and then you buff it off. So I'm gonna do my concealer first on both sides since there is no powdering the MAC side. Powder, I'm gonna use a Laura Mercier in translucent, and then this is just her original translucent powder. Yeah, you can see a difference right away. Matte, more of a natural finish. I'm definitely looking a lot more dry, but airbrushed on this side, but I'm looking at my pores, I'm looking at my fine lines, and they definitely look better on the MAC just because the makeup, it's not super set and it's not very dry. And it's moving with my face versus this side is just kind of, you know, it's looking very dry and very matte. I definitely liked it better without the powder. All right, let's apply the rest of the makeup. Let's apply some contour, some blush. I'm using my Dior, the Backstage Contour Palette. For blush, I'm using the Milani in shade Blossom Time Rose 11. For lip, we're gonna go with Lila B's. This is her Be Remarkable tinted lip oil. So I'm looking at my face and I think everything applied really, really well, not much issue. But I will say I'm liking how everything looks on the MAC side better. I think the finish of the blush and the contour just really complements the MAC foundation. Everything just looks very natural, really pigmented, but also airbrushed at the same time. It just looks really, really flattering and beautiful. On this side, it definitely looks a little bit more powdery because we just have, you know, a lot of powder on my face, but it's also not as pigmented on this side, even though I even applied a little bit extra on this side, and Andre kept telling me, hey, you need more contour, but I felt like I was just layering, and it wasn't getting as pigmented as the MAC side. I think both sides look good though. I'm ready for the day. Let's test them out. Doing the first update, we stopped by Home Depot, waiting for Andre in the car with myself and Emirates. I think everything still looks really good. I already ate. We applied the lip oil, and I'm actually feeling really good on both sides. I'm not feeling tacky anymore on the MAC. The Dermablend side obviously wasn't tacky after I powdered my entire face, and it do feel a lot lighter, and it's not as drying with the MAC side because I don't have to powder. It kind of just settled on its own. So I'm really liking how these two are wearing, especially the MAC side. Alrighty, final update. How are we looking? Again, I'm sitting right in front of the light. So overall, what I'm seeing that's different, I will say it's broken apart really evidently right here in the center. It's looking really dry, and like in any kind of like moving on my face, like the little crinkles, my fine lines, my wrinkles that I have going on, they're kind of more pronounced just because I do have like a cream to powder finish. So I feel like it's definitely exaggerating a little bit more, but overall I'm pretty happy with how it's wearing. I do think the pores on the right side where I have MAC, they're not as pronounced as the left side. I think that's all due to because of that powder that I applied to set the Dermablend. But again, I did not use their powder. So overall, with cream foundations, I think they're a great product for versatility. But overall, they're definitely on the heavier side. They can be a little bit drying depending what kind of formula you get. So I think it just depends on what you're looking for from your cream foundation at the end of the day. Again, I think you can find some really great options at the drugstore. mid-grade, and then luxury if that's what you really want to go for. But honestly, I think Milani and MAC, they outperformed Armani throughout the day. I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for watching, spending time with me in these past couple of days, and I'll see you in the next one very soon. Bye.